Hey everybody, welcome back to Large Badger Media. This is Drew, and I'm facing the Balrog here in this box. So we have ourselves a Lord of the Rings set booster box. This is still, well, right after the weekend. This is the Monday after pre-release. So we're going to open it up and see what kind of treasures we can find within. Obviously there's no chance of any serialized cards or One Ring or anything like that. So I was watching Wildcat, and I think he said it best. This is your, or maybe it was POA, I don't remember. But this is your, chance to get playables. This is your best chance to get just playable cards out of here. One of the cool thing about this set is that there is actually a box topper. So all the box toppers I've seen have been these cool lands, and you get foil, a non-foil, or you might get a what they call a surge foil. So we'll kind of save this here for the end, put this on the side here, and we'll save it as some beauty for the end. Our little picture here is the Balrog from the top of the box, and extra cute Balrog on the other side. So, who knows? It's still very early on about prices and all that kind of thing. I'm just going to kind of sort these this way that I usually do, and that's going to be just sorting commons and commons, mythics and rares. Makes it, just easy for me to do. I don't know about any of you, but I have went back personally and I've watched some videos on Lord of the Ring mythology. Even if you're not a fan of the movies or whatever, or the books or any of that kind of stuff, the mythology is actually really cool. If you don't know anything about Tolkien, he was a linguist, and so a lot of this stuff got done just because of his love of language, and he was real into Viking and Norse language. So a lot of all these names and stuff that people have been and other YouTubers have been stumbling over, and this might be a list card, we can hope, has to do with his love of language. And so there we go. There's Pippin, Guard of the Citadel, the art card. And we'll just kind of put that on me. Make a list of them down here, and then we got just a regular foil land here. And if you've never done one of these before, any set boosters, it's kind of just a random number of commons and uncommons. And so, and then you can usually get as many as 3 to 4 foils and or mythics. I've never seen a 4 mythic set booster pack, but I suppose it's possible. So we got Glorfindel, we have Arwen, we have Celeborn the Wise, and the Mirror of Galadriel, which actually looks like a pretty cool card. It's kind of high here, but it also has one less for each legendary, so definitely looks like it was made for a commander deck, because where mana is a little bit easier to get your mana ramped up and get going here. Shift everything down just a hair here. Not as worried about this. Okay, and then here we have our borderless card. I think every one of these packs has a borderless. I opened a bundle pack, and that seemed to be the case. So in this case, we have the Knights of Dol Amroth. And then for our rare, we have One Ring to rule them all. And it sure has. Oh, and a foil Greyhaven. So that's cool. This is an uncommon, but pretty cool nonetheless. So I'll take it. And we did indeed have a list card here. So in this case, we had Mana Geyser from Odyssey or one of those sets, and this is just a common. So I'm gonna make a little room here. We'll try and get these piles going. And there you go. For our first pack, we got one rare, and it's One Ring to Rule Them All, the Saga. And if you haven't pulled a Tom Bombadil or seen that one yet, it seems to be based on Saga, so I thought that was pretty cool. I took a look at it today when I was watching somebody open a box, and I thought that was pretty cool. So they, because there's lots of things. I have a buddy, Dave, who has a shrine deck, and it's difficult at best. For me, if you're facing it, and it's kind of, there's Guy here, the Stern Scolding, you cannot pass, and then our borderless, and it's pretty nasty. So the fact that they're doing that treatment with shrines now is going to be something. It's going to be something. So here we go. We have Glowin, the Dwarf Emissary, and Dwarf King, that he is. And then we have foil. We have Rally at the Hornburg, and a treasure token. All right, put this here, and let's see, what should we do with these tokens? I'm just going to kind of set over here on the side. Maybe way over here on the side. How about that? All right, let's see our next one here. And these are printed in the US, so there's no pull tab or anything on these. And they are set up, obviously. Here's our mini game. And there's Aragorn and Arwen. Alright, and I got one of the nice nifty planes map cards, which I actually like. I think those are cool. I'm not a big land person, but I do appreciate WotC does do a really good job with the land cards, and especially in these last few sets of building some really cool lands. Okay, so there's Gimli, Counter of Kills, Rising of the Day. There's Meriadoc Brandybuck, or Mary. And this is uncommon. This is what they call the ring treatment here. And then we have the Call of the Ring for our rare, and an Inherited Envelope for our foil common. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got the Orc Army. So, and this is another one of the things, if you haven't been paying any attention to this set. This is a Gimli. Who is this? This is Miramir Guardian. Alright, interesting. I haven't seen that one. There's a Swamp. And this is a different one. This has the Dead Marches. I think the other one I had is a Mordor Swamp, so that's kind of cool. But the Orc Armies, the amassing is kind of back as a mechanic. You know, it used to be undead. Now it seems to be these Orc Armies. And so there's some stuff that plays with those Orc Armies, which is pretty cool. Alright, so here's the Old Man Willow, Rise of the Witch King, the Voracious Fell Beast, and the Grey Havens one more time, this time in the non-foil. Alright, and then I got a borderless Barad-dûr, which is one of the land cycle cards. And we'll stick you here. Okay, so that's the borderless, and then I got my second one is Gimli, the Mournful Avenger, and a third one, Boromir, Warden of the Tower, and not a foil. So the foil would have been my fourth one if I could have pulled it off, but we got a uncommon Iorth of the Healing House. Or maybe it's Jorth. Looks like Iorth. I don't remember that person in the story. Alright, next one here. So this is a Ring Tempshu kind of thing, and this is a perforated card. So I don't know a lot about this. I haven't paid too close attention to it. They did something that I'll look at later. And there's Gollum, or maybe it's Schmeagol. In this case, it's Schmeagol. It's the same person, really. Alright, so there we have a few commons. And then we have Lost to Legend for our uncommon. Grima Wormtongue. Iorth again. Aomer of the Rittermark. And then we have the Bats, which everybody seems to really want for some reason. Okay, alright, I see little plinking bats, but they're kind of expensive. So, there we go, and the Delighted Halfling. Excellent. I wanted this card, and there we go. This seems to be a sought-after card. And then we have Denethor, the Ruling Steward, as a foil uncommon. So, leave me a comment. Like, let me know. Have you read any of the stories? Have you read The Hobbit? A lot of people read The Hobbit in middle school. And there's another Orc Army. You know, what were your thoughts about it? So there's the Undead Army. There's the Fog on the Barrow Downs. So I have read The Hobbit, and I've read The Lord of the Rings, and it's an excellent read. I mean, it's a long read. Don't kid yourself. It is, 3 books into one. But it is an excellent read. It's well done. The languages can be heavy-handed at times. So there's Shadowfax, Lord of Horses. Oath of the Grey Host, Verney, and then Bill the Pony. I've gotten these together. This is the third time I've gotten these two together. So I think that's kind of interesting. Then Legolas, Counter of Kills. And in our first mythic, we have Mount Doom. Another one of the legendary lands. And then Meriadoc again in the ring treatment in the foil, which is nice. Okay, I am going to put that over here with the mythics. Maybe we'll put it over here with the mythics. However, I think that's one of the only mythic lands out of this cycle. I could be wrong about that, unless you get one of the, one of the other ones. All right, another token. We have the human soldier here. It's a cool soldier token. And then we have, who do we have here? We have Legolas. So yeah, there he is. Okay, cool. Got another mountains. So there's Lorien and Moria. Okay, the East Mark. And then we have Erkenbrand, Lord of the Westfold. Prince Emeril the Fair. Emerhill, sorry. Strider, Ranger of the North. Eowyn, Lady of Rohan, and then many partings for our borderless card. Aragorn for our Commander Mythic, King of Gondor. So this is one of the commander sets precons you can get. It is also a Mythic in this case. And then we have Galadriel of the Lothlorien for our rare. And in the Hobbit's Sting for our foil common there. And down to the last couple cards on this first column here. And so we've gotten one list card so far, so we're not doing too great on the list cards. There's the gross food. Alright, and there is a dragon. So this is the Cavern Hoard Dragon. Cute card. And then we got a Plains, which is cool. That's a nice looking Plains. And then we have some commons here. And then we have Shadow Summoning. We have Theoden, King of Rohan. The Mouth of Sauron. Ugluk of the White Hand. And then we have a uncommon borderless card. We have the Voracious Fell Beast. And then we have Sauron, the Necromancer. Okay, and then Sam's Desperate Rescue for our foil common. Last couple here. So we got a couple mythics. One of them's a commander mythic, so nothing too crazy to write home about. It's like we might have a list card now, and we have a signed art card here. Like it's that it's got like a Viking rune in it. So this is Eleanor Gardner, and we have a cool mountain with the white mountains here. Over Gondor, a few commons here. Then we have Stu the Conies. We have the Shire Sheriff, Butterbur, the Bree Innkeeper, Rosie Cotton of South Lane. And then we have our borderless card. We have the Oliphant. And then we have Fanghorn, Tree Shepherd, and Grima Wormtongue as an uncommon foil. And here's our list card from Masters 25. We have the Shade Knight. So it's Isan's Shade with protection from Wide Shade Knight. Wow, 6 for a 5/5. Crazy. So that's cool. Our second list card of this particular one. Looks like we might get another list card right here. And this is the Dead Marshes. So there you go. And we have a cool island with the map treatment. Then we have some commons here. We have the Barrow Blade, Frodo Baggins, Gollum, the Patient Plotter, Samwise, the Stout-Hearted, and then we have Gothmog, the Morgul Lieutenant, as our borderless. And then we have Spiteful Banditry, also called, let's see, what do they call this? This is the Heat Hook something Massacre or something like that. So I haven't looked too much at this. This is supposed to be a pretty good mythic. I have a foil comment, and then we have wow. Then we have High Market. Well, that's cool. Well, that's a cool pull. So our first rare out of the list slot. All right, and then our last one out of the first column. Here we go. Last pack out of the first column. So we're up to 3 mythics. I'm doing pretty well on that so far. Not unhappy with that, so I can make it another list card here. We have Aragorn, King of Gondor. Then we have a foil map mana. And the Dunedain Blade, some other commons here. We have Reprieve, Faramir the Field Commander, Dunedain Rangers, Shortcut to Mushroom, Gandalf, Friend of the Shire, Nazgul, and then, okay, so that one's a weird one. That did something a little bit different. And then we have Mary, Esquire of Rohan, for our rare. And our foil rare, we have Lost Isle Calling. Okay, and an Alpine Moon. So there's our second list rare. And this is a decent one out of M19 there. So we're doing well on the rare so far. I have to scoot this up here just a little bit. Let's see how we're doing with the camera. Alright. This time we have a token. We have a spirit. We have the tree folk. Alright, we have a forest. And I'm going to try and pick it up just a little bit. We're at 15 minutes already on. We're only a third of the way through. So, Serum on the white. Goblin Fire Escaper. We have an Oliphant in the borderless. Then we have Gandalf the Grey for our rare. Very cool. And then Saruman's Trickery for our uncommon. And that's how we're going to start the second row here, the second column, I guess I should say. Alright, looks like we're going to have another token here. This is the Palantir of Orthanc, the regular swamp. We have some commons. We have the Ring Sight, the Firebrand. We have Peregrine Took. And we have Eomer, Marshal of Rohan. And Bitter Downfall for our uncommon foil. So the movies to these are good. I heard some people saying, well, they don't like to do the extended movies, that they had a hard time paying attention. And yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing for you. So here's Pippin. Island. I personally am invested in it, so I had no issues paying attention to it, and I can sit for 3 hours. I don't know if it's an age difference or what it is. There we go. The Tale of Tenuvial. Gandalf. The Dunedain Creebane. I'm sorry, the Dunlin Creebane. And then whichever rare. Oh, we have a mythic. We get there's a good old Tom Bombadil right there. So there's our fourth mythic. An Elven Chorus for another rare. And Eowyn the Fearless Knight is a foil rare. And there we go. And Grizzly Transformation for our fifth listed. This time another common. And let's see, how are we doing with space in here? We'll put one more here. Wow, so that was a pretty good little pack there. It had a mythic, it had a foil rare in it, a regular rare in it, and a list card. So that was pretty nice and spicy. Definitely take that. Okay, there's a Plains with the Shire on it, and then there's some commons here. I got Gollum's Bite. And then we have Rosy Cotton of Southland. This is supposed to be a pretty good uncommon here, and here it is in the borderless. Sauron's Ransom, and the Nimble Hobbit. Guess I'll just stick them there. I'm just kind of needing of space. So we might have to rearrange here in a minute. We're okay at the moment. Oh, that's just a trash card there. There's the Mouth of Sauron. There's a foil Swampy of Mordor there. Some commons. We have Fear Fire Foes. The foray, there's Faramir, the Field Commander, and the Ring Treatment. Then we have the Elvish Mariner. Oops. And the Mines of Moria. So here's another one of our legendary lands. One of our box topper ones, I guess. No, I don't think those are the box toppers, but here we go. There's Bill Fernie. Handful left here in this second row. Wow, this feels... Well, figuring some of the ones, another Orc Army here. There's Mount Doom. There's a Plains. And there's some commons here. And now we have Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. The Long List of Ints. And notice this is a saga with 6 on it, which is pretty crazy. And so if you look at the Tom Bombadil card, it talks, part of his power has to do with how many counters are on those. So there's Samwise Gamgee with his fam. And then the Morgul Knife Wound for our foil common. Yeah, Tom Bombadil, if you want to go back and look at that, has a whole thing, Sharky's Tithe, I love it, about how many counters are on sagas. And that's part of how it plays. So, very interesting. So, a saga with 6 on it kind of makes sense. There's the Stone of Eric, which I've never heard of. That's somewhere in the mythology. There's another saga. There's the Grey Havens. There is Frodo Baggins and the Ring Treatment. And the War of the Last Alliance as a rare saga. And Arwen's Gift. Down to our last couple in the second row here, the second column, I guess I should say. We're getting another list. Oh, hopefully there. And that is Gimli. There's a good forest. Got some comments. Oops, try not to bend the cards here. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. Alright, we have the Intish Restoration. Start Int. Horizon Witness. Then we have the Lash of the Balrog. That doesn't sound any good. Then we have Radagast the Brown. Alright, so another mythic. So we're up to mythic number 5. Wow, and a Saruman with the ring treatment foil mythic. Sweet. And Counterlash. So I saw somebody else pull this too, or maybe I pulled it. I can't remember. I saw somebody pull this. So a list card here, another list rare. And the last out of the second row. So that was a fantastic one. We got Saruman, got a mythic Radagast, and we got a second mythic foil, and a rare list hit. That was crazy. So there we go, a second signed art card. We got, oops, I think I pulled it. Hopefully you can see that. There's Smog the token. Kind of sounded like a Mel Brooks kind of thing. Smog the token. Alright, let's see. We got Denethor, we have the Shire Sheriff, and the Borderless, and we have Faramir, the Prince of Ithilien, and then a Samwise the Stout-Hearted for our last one in the second row. Okay, so here we go. Third row. Let's see, maybe we can shift some stuff over. We'll shift our mythics over. Bear with me just a second here. Make a little bit more room. There we go. And our last one here, we've got, it's like a mini game, indeed. Battle of the Hornburg, and art card, and in regular island. There we go. To the generous sense, then we have Land of the Landroval again. Elendor, Gwaihir. Alright, we have the Knights of Dol Amroth again, and then we have the Phial of Galadriel. Has the light of their star, Elendil, in it, and then the Oath of the Grey Host. The light of their favorite star is in the Phial of Galadriel, given to Samwise Gamgee. So hopefully that's not a ruiner for anybody. I would think if you're gonna either know it or you don't at this point. I don't know anybody, but hopefully, you know, this is one of those things. So I hope this inspires people, this set. People who don't normally read books or watch those movies or get into this mythology to be interested in it. I mean, it really is a cool mythology. Look, Bill Fernie and Bill the Pony again. I'm just saying, this is my 4th time to do that. Okay, Foray of Orcs, and then we have the Balrog, Durin's Bane, and the Borderless. As opposed to Balrog, Durin's Bane in the pack. And a foil Oliphant. So, funny one to double up on there. That's cool. Let's take another list card here. Tom Bombadil out there. No, Asceticism. Got the mountain. So yeah, man. But I do hope this inspires people to at least watch the movies and get into the mythology. And you know, at best, hopefully it'll inspire you to read these books. Like, start with The Hobbit. The Hobbit's a fantastic little book. If you haven't read it since you were in middle school, it holds up. Read it again. It's a good little book. Then we have Arwen for our, are we on the 7th mythic? 7th mythic, so Arwen, the Mortal Queen. Old Man Willow for our foil uncommon. And from Ixalan's Binding. And I think we're on our 6th or 7th, 7th list hit as well. And maybe another list hit right here. There's Minas Tirith. There's the Swamp. There's some commons. There's the Rise of the Witch King. Theoden, and then we have the Lash of the Balrog Borderless again. Okay, we have Fall of the Caer Andros for our rare. And we have Bilbo the Retired Burglar for our foil uncommon, and a 3rd, it says my 3rd or my 4th from Planescape or Plane Chase. This is the Magengoth Treefolk. And I keep thinking about making a tribal Treefolk deck, and here's another one that's pretty cool. For each basic land type you have. Wow. Very interesting. Very interesting. So at least I think that's my 4th list rare in my 8th list pull overall. That's pretty amazing. There it is. It's that Endurial, yeah. Another one ring here. Okay, so foil forest map card that time. That's cool. Some dogs. For any of you does have a Ren and a Siri inseparable deck, you know, dog cat deck. Then we have the Conies. Rosy Cotton again. And then we have the borderless Nasty End. And then the Scroll of Isildur for our rare Saga. And then Escape from Orthanc. So we're getting down to the last just few packs here. Overall, I think this has been a pretty successful one. Oh, this is a different food. It's like a bacon in it. Dang, how can you, I mean, you know, how cool is a food with bacon in it? So there we go, some commons. So I think overall it's been pretty successful. Looks like there's something fun and foily down there. We'll see what we get. Aomer. And then we have Gandalf, friend of the Shire here. Then we have Eowyn, another one of the Shield Maiden. So this is another one of the Commander Mythics. And our 8th Mythic overall here. Here's another rare, Isildur's Fateful Strike. And then a regular pack foil Lash of the Balrog rather than the color, the borderless. Alright, last 4. And then I'll be interested in getting into that box topper. Got another Orc Army here. This is Mines of Moria. Mountain. Different mountain than what I've had. There's the bats again. Alright. Prince Imrahil the Fair. There's Strider. There's the Voracious Fell Beast in the borderless. We have a Nazgul. Then we have the Flowering of the White Tree, which is a pretty damn cool enchantment. And then another different Nazgul, so if you notice 2 different pictures, even though one's foiled, one's not. Apparently there's 9 Nazgul, just like there are 9 Nazgul in the stories. The 9 Kings, the reason why there's 9,000 rings, and the reason why there's 900 of the serialized rings, because of the 9 rings sent to men. The Nazgul were once men. There's the Feast Food token. That's cool looking. It's Aragorn the Uniter. Mountain. So here we go with the Mouth of Sauron. This Trickery, and then many partings for our borderless here. And then we have Minas Tirith. Cool. So another legendary land. It's my 3rd one here. And then a Shortcut to Mushrooms uncommon foil. Last couple packs here. So another token. Oh, my 3rd signed art card. Oh, this is a Human Soldier token. So there's Frodo. Swamp. And there's Peregrine Took. Bilbo. There's the Mirkwood Bats again in the borderless. And we have Rivendell. Alright, cool. So my 4th land of this land cycle here. And a Smeagol. The Helpful Guide. And we got one more here, and we have many partings in the borderless foil common. Here we go. Last chance for romance here in our regular set packs. Let's see what we get. No more list cards. I was going to say we hit 8, so we should have been good on that. Foil Swamp. Alright, Reprieve. And we have Gimli, the counter of kills in the ring treatment here. Then we have the Fall of Gil-galad. And we have a foil Kingfisher there and a treasure token. So a little bit of a whimper there on our last pack, but that's okay. So let's see what kind of goodie we got here. Wow, that opened actually rather easily. Alright, survey says, let's see what we get. Hey, we have Helm's Deep. So this is, what is this? This is Shinka, the Blood-Soaked Keep. I'm not super familiar with this, but There you go. Another one of the land cycle cards. This is one of the reprints. And our last mythic. Bringing our total mythic count up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although we were guaranteed a mythic, I think all of the box toppers are mythics. So, WotC did go back and do something really good with that. We are at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to let you go. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this box. If you, watch these videos in order to kind of, track print, what, or trying to math these boxes out, let me know what your thoughts are. And subscribe, like, leave me a comment, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.